All right, Larry Krueger here from the Pig and a Pickle Krug Show with a little 49er video. I got one thought that I want to share with you guys watching some of these NFL playoffs about the Niners offseason ahead and what I'm seeing in these playoff games and what it really means for the 49ers as they look to rebuild their team for 2025. Of course, we're brought to you by Pig and a Pickle, the best barbecue in all of Northern California. Check them out. They're in Emeryville. They're in Corte Madera. They're open 7 days a week from 11 a.m. till 8 p.m. or until they run out. Go say hi to Damon and Mary. Get some brisket chili. Tell them that Krug sent you. And this video is brought to you by Mancini's Sleep World. Mancini's is a proud sponsor of the Krug Show. They offer a 120-night guarantee with a range of brands and price points. I'm loving my Mancini's bed. With Mancini's, you get free next-day delivery. All you got to do is click the link below or go to sleepworld.com and find a bed that works for you, whether you shop online or visit in-store. If you use the code KRUG10, K-R-U-E-G 10, you're going to get 10% off just because you know me. Again, that's KRUG10, K-R-U-E-G 10, and you'll get 10% off in any of Mancini's locations or online at sleepworld.com. All right, let's talk a little football. NFL playoffs going on this weekend. A consistent theme has popped up already as I'm sitting here at roughly halftime of the Eagles-Packers game, watching all these NFL games. The winning teams are running the hell out of the football, and they're dominating the time of possession in a huge way, and it's leading to victories. This is how you want. If you want to win in 2025, you got to be able to run the football effectively, and you've got to be able to dominate time of possession and protect your defense and play complementary football. That's what January football is all about. Winning football, championship football. It's about playing complementary football. And the teams that win these games are running the heck out of it, and they're dominating the time of possession, and they're just playing keep away from the opposing team's offense. Let's look at some of the numbers. Baltimore ran for 50 times for 299 yards. They just gutted the Pittsburgh Steelers defense. And Baltimore possessed the ball for 39 minutes and 33 seconds and won going away by a couple touchdowns. So that was that game. In the Houston game, Houston against the Chargers ran 34 times for 168 yards, and they possessed the ball for 34 minutes and 25 seconds. I mean, they basically played keep away. They shut down the Chargers run game. They ran the hell out of it, and they won. Steelers couldn't run it at all. Ravens ran it down their throat. Ravens won. Do you see the theme here? Now let's go to the next game. Buffalo today against Denver. Buffalo ran 44 times for 210 yards. James Cook had a huge day. And the Bills held the ball for 41 minutes and 43 seconds. I mean, that is extreme ball control. That's like total keep away. Bo Nix played all right, but Denver just never had the ball. Buffalo held the ball all afternoon. 41 minutes of time of possession in an NFL game. I mean, that is just absolutely amazing. And then look at this Eagles game. It's 10-0 at halftime. Jalen Hurts has thrown for 39 yards at halftime. Why? Because Philly is running the heck out of it. Philly is averaging 6.8 yards per carry, and they're up 10-0. So that's what you got to do. That's what the 49ers, the number one thing that Kyle Shanahan has to rebuild. They don't run the ball. The 49ers had a sequence a few weeks ago where it was 2nd and goal from the 4. They passed it on 2nd and goal. They passed it on 3rd and goal from the 4. And on 4th and goal from the 4, they kicked a field goal and trotted off the field. They cannot run when they need to run. They can't run in short yardage. They can't run on the goal line. They can't run in the red zone. They can't run. That's the problem. So the 49ers have to figure this out. And that's, to me, after watching Baltimore, Houston, Buffalo, Philly dominate these games by running the football. Run the football. Now you have McCaffrey, you have Mason, you have Garendo, you have a fullback, but your fullback gives you no push in the run game. Your center is just getting obliterated. Your interior guards are not nearly strong enough. Pooney is probably the better of the two. Banks is probably going to depart in free agency. But message to the 49ers, go get some big-time road graders on your offensive line and draft a couple running backs and maybe a blocking tight end in this 2025 draft. This is a great running back draft. There's going to be running backs drafted in every single round and undrafted running backs that are going to be not just good, but damn good in the NFL. So it's a phenomenal draft. Even though you have McCaffrey, you really don't know what condition he's coming back to you in as after the, we know he's got chronic issues with both tendonitis and both tendons, both legs. So we'll see. He says he's over that, but I don't know if I would believe him. Then you got J.P. Mason, who's a restricted free agent. You got Elijah Mitchell, who's probably moving on. He's an unrestricted free agent. You still have Isaac Garendo coming back. You got a decision to make on Juice, but man, you got to upgrade that offensive line. And just looking at the way these teams, Philly running for almost 7 yards a carry, Buffalo just gashing Denver, Houston running all over the Chargers, Baltimore just gutting the Steelers. This is the way you do it. So I know if it was chic for a while to just say running backs are no good, you don't need them. But you know what? You do need them. And the Niners, even though they've got a can full of backs, they probably, because of the nature of the position, ought to look for a couple more. But they really got to bolster this offensive line. Here are a few names to, I haven't done the total deep dive on the draft, but here are some names to consider on the offensive line of guys that I absolutely love already in this process. If you're looking for an offensive tackle, I'll give you day 1, day 2, and day 3 options. Day 1, Kelvin Banks from Texas, blue chip player, ready to roll, plug and play player. Will Campbell, enormously strong. I saw a video yesterday of Will Campbell, squatting 660, and he was like winking at the camera. This guy's just a beast. The LSU lineman, Will Campbell. So those, if you're looking for an offensive tackle in round 1, both those guys would be great. If you're looking for an offensive lineman, on day 2 of the draft, the 2 names to remember, I think, offensive tackle is Emory Jones, who's the bookend tackle opposite Will Campbell at LSU, and Big Anthony Belton from NC State, who's like a dancing bear. He has great feet. He's 6'6", 335 pounds, real long arms, great athlete, very projectable. Anthony Belton and Emory Jones on day 2. And if you're going to wait till day 3, it's always slim pickings, but Miles Hinton, the former Stanford offensive tackle who transferred to Michigan, is a big time talent. You're talking about 6'8", long arms, projectable left tackle, and then J.C. Davis, who went to McClymonds High School in Oakland, plays for the Illini. I've watched the Illini this year, and Davis has had some just blocks where he's cleared out the entire side of the line. He's going to be a day 3 offensive tackle, probably in the 5th round. That would be a nice 5th round pick. So J.C. Davis, Miles Hinton on day 3, Emory Jones, Anthony Belton on day 2, Kelvin Banks and Will Campbell on day 1. If you're looking for a guard, just a destroyer guard, to me, one of the best offensive linemen I've seen in a while is this Tyler Booker, who's probably a late round 1, early round 2 guy from Alabama. Just a destroyer in the run game. I would love the Niners to have a guard like Tyler Booker. And then at center, I'll give you 3 names that are really interesting to me. Marcus Ware from Montana State, who played right tackle at Montana State, but I think projects to center in the NFL. Ware is a really good, nasty drive blocker. Javontes Spraggins, who plays for Tennessee, the monster guard, big-bodied guy, I think is going to be a day 3 sleeper. And I'll give you even a projectable, project. But if you're looking for just the biggest road grader there is, you may want to look at Desmond Watson, who plays defensive tackle for the University of Florida. This guy's 6'5", 450 pounds. That's right. I just said that right. He's 6'5". He's 450 pounds. And he's really athletic at that size. If you wanted a road grading center and you wanted to take a project, man, draft that guy. Now, I realize he's a nose guard and he's playing for the Gators. He's got a weight issue. But, man, looking at the way Mekhi Becton has looked as an interior run blocker on the Eagles line compared to how bad he looked and how slow he looked with the Jets as an offensive tackle, makes me think that in the NFL right now, you need two kinds of offensive linemen. You need tackles who have incredible feet because the edge rushers are so fast. So those guys need to be about anywhere between like 290 and 320, but really, really quick feet, long arms. And then you need the interior guys, and they can be as big and as wide and as powerful as you can possibly find. You know, if you can find a guy who's 6'4", 350, or in Desmond Watson's case, 6'5", 450, it's all about moving bodies inside. And I think, a guy like Desmond Watson would be very intriguing as a center developmental project for Chris Forster on day 3 of the NFL draft. All right, just some names to think about, but that's it right there. If you want to win in the NFL, if you said, if I could, improve the 49ers in one way, how would I do it? The Niners can't run in the low red zone. The Niners can't run on the goal line. They're getting no push in the interior. Draft a couple big backs, draft a couple big physical offensive linemen, and start building a fortress around Brock Purdy and start being able to run the ball on 2nd and goal from the 4. To me, that the fact that the Niners had a game late this year where they ran the ball, or they passed the ball on 2nd and goal and 3rd and goal from the 4, that's reprehensible. That's the low red zone. Run the ball. And the fact that Shanahan wasn't running the ball tells me that he knew he didn't have the linemen or didn't have the backs to get it done. Go into this offseason, get the linemen, get the backs, run the ball in the low red zone, run the ball in short yardage. If you're going to be better than Buffalo and Houston and Baltimore and Philly, those teams are big, powerful teams. They all showed this weekend they can run the ball. If you want to run with them, you got to run the ball. Thanks to Pig in a Pickle for being the title sponsor of The Krug Show. Thanks to Mancini's for sponsoring this video. Thanks to all of you guys for supporting The Krug Show on YouTube.